But here in Sioux City, we had some hoops going on at the college level throughout the day, and the Morningside Mustang men and women were in action. They were looking to defend their home floor against a feisty Hastings Broncos squad. Now, Morningside would lead 2-0 after a pair of free throws early in the men's matchup. They extend their lead, though, as they go down low to Brendan Buckley. He'll go to work, get the reverse layup to go. That makes it 4-0 Mustangs. Now, not too much later, Justin City, he's going to bring the ball up the court for Morningside. He'll drive in, get creative near the rack to find his way to get the 2 points right there. Now, City not done showing his scoring ability early in the first half. This time he catches the pass from Joey Scoff. He buries the catch and shoot corner three. Morningside leads 9-0 after that shot. Later in the first, it's a missed shot that leads to an offensive rebound that leads to another missed shot, but eventually Buckley, he's going to get the tip in to go right there to extend the Mustangs' lead, and they'll go on to win the men's matchup 69-58. Now into the women's matchup where the Mustangs, they're looking to slow down a strong Broncos team. Pick things up in the fourth quarter. Morningside trailing by a large margin, but Alexis Spears, she'll take the shot. She gets it to go to make the margin just a little closer. Hastings, they come up with a quick answer. The first shot by Ann Bose, no good, but she follows her shot, gets the rebound, gets the layup to go. Now the Mustangs, they go back down the floor. They eventually work the ball inside to Lily Vollerston. She's going to get the contested tough layup to fall right there. But this one was all Broncos in the battle on the hardwood. Later in the fourth, a backdoor cut by Gentry Marks catches the defender snoozing. Marks gets the layup to go, and Hastings wins this one 80-58.